our products. So I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Really excited to have Mario Berzeck, as his screen name goes, joining us of the NULS team. If you have questions throughout this, definitely feel free to drop them in the YouTube chat. Any links that we talk about, I'll make sure to drop them into the description afterwards. The goal of this Q&A is for us to learn a little bit more about the integration between Chainlink and NULS and Nerve, and talk about the differences between what is Nerve and NULS, the two different architectures, a part of the NULS ecosystem that they are working on, and how they fit into DeFi and everything that is happening in our ecosystem today. Without further ado, Mario, do you want to maybe give a quick introduction about yourself and what you're working on at NULS?
Yeah, sure. My name is Mario Blacut. I am from Bolivia. I am right now the Western director of NULS and the founder of Nerve. I have 20 years experience designing complex systems. I am the one responsible of the design of the microservices infrastructure of NULS and Nerve. And yes, I am old, and thanks to crypto, I am older, I think.
Feel you. Yeah. No, it's great to have you, and really excited. We were talking before this about NULS and Nerve, and both were mentioned when they integrated with Chainlink. And so Nerve is the DeFi-centric blockchain of the NULS ecosystem. Is that right?
Yes, correct. In the beginning, we wanted to expand NULS blockchain to support DeFi-ready features, but it was the result would be a bloated, fat blockchain that tries to do everything by itself. So we decided to split in two, with different features, different goals, and different requirements. For example, Nerve supports 2,000 transactions per second, 2 seconds to create a block, and more importantly, just one confirmation needed to be considered secure. That's what we think a DeFi-ready solution. It's also cross-chain and supports 70 assets and 5 blockchains right now. It gives NRC20 tokens, our tokens, the ability to travel seamlessly between Ethereum, Binance, and other blockchains. But this needed to have some compromises. In specific, Nerve does not have a smart contract engine to achieve these speeds. So it uses NULS one. So developers need to integrate both blockchains to build dApps. If they need a smart contract engine, they use NULS, and if they need cross-DeFi solution, they integrate Nerve. So this way of splitting the solution is working really well for us, because Nerve is progressing at a faster pace because it's new. And NULS is already mature, so the pace is slowing down, but it's in the polished state, fixing, tweaking the last bugs and things like that. So it enables us to make more progress. That's the link between NULS and Nerve.
Yeah, I imagine it's a lot easier to be able to, when you're focusing on one thing, it is a lot easier to be very successful at that one thing and then focusing on two, and really see how splitting up the architecture could help developers with that. What smart contract or coding language is each of them written in for developers?
Okay, yes, smart contracts in NULS are done using a subset of Java. We chose in that language because, well, it's well known, and developers don't need to learn a new language to become productive. So they become productive in a shorter time span, and that's useful for us. But we plan this year to integrate EWASM, which is the smart contract engine from Ethereum 2. So we will provide compatibility with Ethereum's smart contracts.
Oh, that's great. So it's cross-compatible with Ethereum as well.
Yes, correct. Before we continue, I need to apologize with our audience for my bad English, which is not my native language. So please be a little forgiven about that.
No, really appreciate you coming on, and you sound great. So I wouldn't even have noticed that you're from somewhere else. Uh, with NULS and Nerve, what are you seeing in the DeFi ecosystem right now, and what is your approach to DeFi, and what makes you excited about everything that's happening in the ecosystem?
Well, DeFi is the hot trend right now. That's undeniable. The reason for this is because, well, finances, the entities that DeFi manages and tries to implement are very abstract. So it's a great use case and easier to implement and map the processes to blockchain. And that's why it's the trend, and the next years will be continue to be in a trend because it's easy to map the processes.
Mm-hmm.
So of course we want to ride the DeFi trend, and that's why we designed DeFi ready blockchain, which is Nerve. Nerve supports every asset. We built our solutions under the premise that one the phrase "one chain to rule them all" is flawed. I mean, we don't believe in that future. We are sure that the future belongs to many chains, many good products that will want to integrate between themselves to offer a developer different solutions, different use cases. And we are preparing our whole ecosystem for that future. And that's why we built Nerve. And that's our strategy, integrating all the good products, all the good projects in one single point of entrance. For example, in Nerve, you just need to integrate one interface and you support automatically all 70 assets that we support. So it minimizes the development time for your product if you will want to develop something with several assets. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of thing that we are building. That's our strategy in the DeFi space.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that philosophy that it's not going to be only one chain, especially on an enterprise level and on a consumer level, that they're going to need to be able to connect to a chain for this, and might have all different sorts of things. So definitely see that approach. I'm curious, in Bolivia, do you see more people there turning on to decentralized financial products, or what's the financial ecosystem like you're from?
Don't talk about my country because it's a mess. I mean, we have a socialist government for 14, 15 years, very corrupt. And sadly, is the kind of government that is totally about centralized solutions. So crypto is banned here. Gladly for me, it's just accepting crypto as a way of payment. So I won't be on jail anytime soon, I hope. But this kind of attitude of the government, of course, makes the adoption very slow in my country. And that's sad. I am hopeful because young people from university, they via internet, they learn things from their own. They start trying to develop something. I try to help some people here, but the moment is very low. Also, the access to internet in my country is relatively, it has a high cost. It's very expensive relatively to other countries and relatively to our cost of living. So I don't see our country progress in this area anytime soon, sadly. The same happens with several social governments that has ruled in Latin America, which is slowing down adoption. Mm-hmm. But the good news is that crypto is here to stay. Government will try to slow down, but it can't be stopped. I mean, it's like you try to ban the internet. In reality, you ban yourself from the internet, right? So it's ridiculous. And sooner or later, government will notice that and will adopt and try to regulate things and adapt to this new reality because it won't go away.
Yeah, that's great to hear that you're working with different college students and people there and kind of helping kind of progress this. I think it's been a wake up call too for everyone around the world, especially here in the United States with everything that we kind of see happening in the stock market the past few days. And what you're saying, you try to stop something that almost all you're doing is putting the gas to the pedal to the metal and making things speed up even further when you're trying to stop something. So it definitely see more people kind of waking up to, who is the ones that are kind of making the rules and open their eyes to decentralized finance. I think had at least 5 people today from friends from the past that have, like, what is decentralized finance? How do I get into this? So it's definitely exciting times, and people are waking up. With NULS, how is Chainlink working with NULS and Nerve, and what is the integration like on that front?
Okay, so we have several tools that surely we will speak about on the AMA, but what we don't have is native oracles. Mm-hmm. And oracles, as you understand, obviously is very important in the tool set you give to developers, because it's the only reliable way to enter external data in a reliable way to a smart contract. So instead of trying to do ourselves, we just integrate another blockchain, which is Chainlink, that we consider is the best in the area, the one that have more experience in this area. So it was just natural. And as you have seen, we are used to split blockchains, so to work in different blockchains. So the integration is even more natural for us and for our developers, because that's the way to do, integrate different blockchains instead of doing one monstrosity that tries to do everything. So integrating Chainlinks is feels very familiar to us.
Mm-hmm. And in our announcement, there was also something with dynamic NFTs. Is that right? And being able to take oracles and do something along the lines with NFTs?
Yeah, I mean, NFTs is another trend that we will want to ride on. NULS already has support for NFTs, and we will integrate Chainlink to support NFTs as well, because several processes in real life are more easily mapped to NFTs, especially it's something that has the concept of property. It's natural to integrate to NFT. So surely it's a dumb thing we will do. We will integrate Chainlink considering that with NFTs.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see how that comes along and how that moves. I'm curious too with NULS, and was diving into your white paper and website before this. And NULS is a framework that you can basically just create your own blockchain from it. Is that right?
Yeah, well, NULS is a blockchain, and also we offer a framework and a set of tools for developers to create their own blockchains. This is thanks to our microservice infrastructure, where you can swap models individually. So we created an application called Chain Factory. Mm-hmm. This application, you just choose some models in a web page, and the application assembles a blockchain customized for you. And not only that, it also creates a web explorer and a web wallet ready to use for your blockchain. The interesting thing that we haven't seen anywhere else is that this tool is targeted not for developers, but for entrepreneurs or for business. You don't need to develop anything here. You just need to understand some basic concepts about blockchain, like Genesis, address, and stuff like that, and that's it. Everything else is created by our software. So I think it's one of the good things we implemented and our contribution to the crypto landscape. Right? Of course, we have a more powerful tool for developer, which is called Chainbox. Mm-hmm. Chainbox is the more powerful version. It's more flexible than Chain Factory. In fact, Nerve itself is created using that tool. So we know it works, and it works well.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And I'll make sure to drop those links in there for everyone as well to check out Chain Factory, because it's actually really, really cool. And with that, you also have the SCO platform. Is that right? Can you give me more details about how the SCO platform works?
Yeah, sure. That's one of our pillars of our strategy. The idea is that projects not only building on NULS, they can even be Ethereum projects, uh, commit a small percentage of their token supply to this program, and they are listed in a web page, so NULS holders can stake directly in these projects, and they receive the project's tokens, and the project in return receives the NULS. So it's like a way of funding, but it's more friendly to regulation because stakers never risk the original investment. So even if our projects are scams, our holders, our investors never lose their original investment. So there's not too much to regulate if you think about it, unlike ICOs or IEOs. Also, it creates a nice synergy between our communities. Why? Because it's in our community's best interest for the project's price to increase because they receive more value, they receive more money. And the project as well cheer for NULS because they receive more value if NULS price rise. So the projects that are incoming, they are signing with us, increases our community, and it's like we are creating a merged macro community between all our projects, all cheering for each other, not because we are good guys, but because it's in our best convenience for the price of our projects increases, right? So that's our main strategy in this regard, and it's working because just in a few weeks, we signed like 10 projects already. Right now, I think there are 12 and 5 more that are signed that will be listed very soon.
Interesting. What kind of projects are these that are using that?
The half of them are DeFi related because it's a trend and it's hot, and others have other use cases. We will release news very soon, so please be very attentive to our news.
Yeah, we like definitely keep an eye out. And yeah, I know it's been fascinating watching your community too. That when we announced it, people were really excited, and it does seem there's this aligned incentives. People are really excited, and I know as well. We were kind of talking before. There might be a rebrand coming soon, and what else is on the product roadmap coming up for you?
Oh yeah, the rebrand is something we should have done some months ago. We have taken 2 years building our products, and we took the decision that we won't pump a PowerPoint presentation. We wanted to present a real product solving real problems to real companies, and then start making some marketing. Sadly, even that we know is the right decision long term, we got caught in the bad timing because we started in the peak of the bull market and everything else was in the bear market. So investors were very impatient. It was a tough time. But we now have the products, and starting from March, we restructure the whole thing in NULS. We no longer have a CEO, we have a board of directors, a new way to do things. So a rebrand was something we were working on. And now it's very close, and it will come in Q1 of this year. And it will reflect all the changes we have made because we already are a complete new product. Just the name is the same right now.
Yeah.
That remains from the last product.
That's exciting. Yeah, it'll be really cool to see how this plays out, and I'm excited to see what happens with it. And for the audience too, your team's spread out all around the globe, right? Like you're in Bolivia, and then have most of the team in Asia, and then also in Americas and Europe. Is that right?
Yeah, gladly. We have members from Switzerland, Portugal. I am from Bolivia. We have members from China. We have members in Canada. So yes, we are very worldwide product, and we are used to work in different time zones. We are used to work from home. So gladly, COVID didn't affect our process. In fact, it helped to accelerate things, and well, we already gladly we have our products ready to go.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the globalness, and now even trying to decentralize that more and more as your product grows. It's exciting to see. If people want to help build NULS, help build Nerve, join your community, where are the best channels to go and talk with your team and get involved with the community?
Oh, great. So the best way where we interact more with our community are our Telegram channels. So if you have any question, we are glad to answer them. Also, we offer our products that are built in our platform free direct support from core team, from development team. So this increases their chances to build a successful project cheaper and faster. That's something everybody likes. So we assume that cost. This is done in an application called Lark Suite, which is like Telegram, but it has managed documents and also has inline translation, so it makes easier to communicate between each other. That's the way our main communication channels. Of course, we are on Discord, on Reddit as well, but Telegram is our first point of contact.
Great. I'll make sure to drop all those links for everyone into the description afterwards. Definitely recommend jumping into their Telegram, talking with the team. They're there to help and looking for help as well for you to join and get involved. And before we wrap up, Berzeck, I know that you're really excited about the microservices architecture around Nerves and NULS, and one of the things that you really focus on in your involvement. Do you want to maybe just take a few minutes and kind of talk about how that's structured and what you're working on?
Oh, yes. Microservices is probably one of the most important features we offer. This architecture is being implemented in Google, Microsoft, and the biggest software companies in the world. The idea is that each module itself is an application. So you can develop modules in any coding language you want. You want Python, we are for you. You are a masochist, then assembler is for you. Good. No problem. So in fact, NULS and Nerve are developed in C++ and Java. So this increases our potential developer pool, because you don't need to learn a particular language to become productive. You can develop modules in any language you want. The architecture also allows us to swap modules, even runtime, just swapping new versions of modules in any language we want. So this enables us to make progress a lot faster, because we don't need to compile all the modules to release a new version. We just need to compile or deploy the modules we are making changes. And each person can be in charge of one module, and they don't need to be supported by the rest of the team. They just change their module and deploy it to the rest of the infrastructure. So this is a great way to develop software. But the question is, why not everybody is implemented if it's so great? The reason is that implementing the first time is very difficult. It requires a lot of experience, and it's very expensive, and you need to write the software from scratch. We did that. That's why it took 2 years to develop our products, but we are now starting to enjoy the advantages. For example, there are products you can build with microservice infrastructure that you can build with other architectures. For example, Chain Factory is alive thanks to this architecture. And I don't see any competition from the years to come. So we have some years to develop our competitive advantage in this area. So microservice is one of the features that gives this advantage.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that explanation. It's not easy building those infrastructure. Like you said, Google, these companies have been building them out for decades now at this point. And so it's really exciting to see your team taking that step and building these with NULS. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that maybe we left off that you want to mention?
Well, what I want for the community, for the people listening to us, is not that they rush and buy our tokens right away. The only thing I want is people just to research about our project, to research what we are doing, to look into our products, ask questions, nothing else. I just ask nothing else. We are here for the long term. We are very patient people, and I am sure sooner or later you will find something you like. So that's the only thing I am interested in right now.
Great. Yeah, I'll make sure to put all those links into the description afterwards. And I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here. And yeah, your English is great. Like you've been speaking it your entire life. So yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time. And it's great to see everything that NULS is working on. It's been a pleasure working with your team, and look forward to seeing your progress.
Thank you for the opportunity, Keenan, and surely we will have more joint news with our Chainlink implementation. You guys have been very helpful, so I will personally recommend your solution to everyone. And thanks to everyone looking and being interested in our products. So please don't be afraid to ask any question for whatever you want to ask, even if it's a tough question, we will answer it.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, everyone who tuned in this evening, and really appreciate you looking in. And if you like the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for when we ever go live in the future. And otherwise, have a good night, and thanks again, Berzeck.